I think we have it all.
You are all I need.
So I'm pretty sure it's gonna rain, but at least hopefully not in the next like 30 seconds while I'm walking over to 7-Eleven. Tonight, I am super excited because Steph and I get to spend the night together, just us, and we're gonna watch Stranger Things Season 2 all the way to the end. So we got like 4 episodes in, and we ended up watching a couple more right before bed, so we have like 3 or 4 episodes left. And this show is dope. So I gotta go pick up some popcorn and some candy and get ready for one hell of a ride. Man, I really feel like it is gonna rain, which is pretty exciting because we don't get any rain at all out here in Southern California. Alright, forgot to mention that yesterday at Steph's parents' house we had Lucille's, and today I get to enjoy the leftovers. Steph, what did Spike give us in here?
Cake.
Thanks, Spike. All right, are you excited?
Yes.
That excited, huh?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Stranger Things 2, finale time.
No, don't shut off the lights. I'm scared.
What? It's better. All right, that is a wrap. Stranger Things 2 is complete. So I'm gonna give myself 2 thumbs up because that was awesome. So really good experience. Real quick, kind of spoiler free. I do want to talk a little bit about Stranger Things 2. So my first impression is like really solid sequel. The things that you love from the first season shine through in this one, which is primarily the characters. I find more and more that I like just being in this story, being in this world, and getting to hang out with these characters. So it's definitely fun. There's no doubt about that. So if you watch Stranger Things 2, you're gonna have a good time. You're not gonna walk away disappointed. But the distinction with sequels always is it better than the original? I think is typically how we compare things. So, and of course the expectations here are very, very different. So when Stranger Things hit, the first one, you think about it being this kind of like smash hit out of nowhere, out of left field. And this one is trying to follow up to a smash hit. So your expectations going into each season were a little bit different, but I will say that the first season is probably a much, you have the new factor. I think it's better written, and I think it has certain elements to it that would hold up better. Even if people tell you today, I feel like, if they're like, oh my gosh, Stranger Things 2 is better than the first season, if you were to wait 10 years, I think the first season is the one that will hold up and be the one that we, still admire years later. So the way I would describe it is, as I do with most things, and put it into a Star Wars analogy. So if you go back to Star Wars A New Hope, the original Star Wars movie, and George Lucas creates the sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, which is often considered to be the best of all of the Star Wars movies. What we get here is not Empire Strikes Back. Stranger Things 2 does not really tread any new ground. What we get is kind of A New Hope 2.0. And by that I don't mean The Force Awakens. I mean, if George Lucas went ahead and made a sequel to Star Wars and took all the things that we love and kind of, replicated some of the, story structure and things like that, we'd probably still love Star Wars 2. It just wouldn't be, as good as Star Wars 1. So I think, the difference here is, and this happens a lot, I think, especially with sequels, is a lot of times they get made for fun because people liked it, because the writers and everybody enjoyed making it. They get made for money, and they get made sometimes continuing a story that maybe didn't have a direction right after the first one. So, perfect examples of sequels that work are, Empire Strikes Back is one. You look at The Dark Knight is one of those sequels that really continues a story. It warrants being told. So it's a lot of fun when you have a story that continues with purpose. And in Stranger Things 2, I don't know that the purpose is anything other than maybe dealing with the effects of season 1 and an expansion of the world, which is still fun. It's still great to hang out with those characters and be in that world. But for everybody that hasn't seen Stranger Things 2, I'm not going to dive into any episodes or major plot points. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I do recommend you go watch it. And if you want to talk about it with me, feel free to Snapchat me or message me, DM me on social media, and I'd love to get into some of the actual plot points that I found to be really compelling. There are some things that they do that are new, and there's one episode that stands out in particular which kind of breaks the mold, and I would like to get everybody's opinions on it. Yeah, the way I would describe it, Stranger Things 2, solid, 7 out of 10. Does a really good job. You're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna enjoy those same characters you fell in love with, and it does move the story along. But does it break new ground? Is it better than the original? And does it kind of leave you wanting another season? We'll see. We'll see what they come up with. So, all right, guys, enjoy the show.